I have been doing Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations for over 6 years, and I have to say that I found out something spectacular lately without the meditations, just because I am still open and I do his work also outside of the meditations. And the work is requiring observing your patterns which you live in. And this is what I'm going to share with you in this video.
Because the pattern which Petra was talking about with me is so deep and so unconscious, and I'm sure it is very relevant for a lot of you, because a lot of us have this program going on subconsciously, and she will shed light on it. She will tell you exactly what it is, so you can recognize in your own life, do I have this behavior as well? Is this also something that I should look at? And it will be very, very helpful for you.
I was very disconnected my whole life from my own emotions. So I was always fine, the person who says, I'm fine, you know, everything is okay and stuff like that. And I was not able to admit that I had certain feelings towards myself, like for example, self-hatred. And I thought it's just none of my business, none of my things. You know, I could be guilty, I could be fearful, but hating myself, why? I got a book from a 16-year-old girl which was very, very abused, and she wrote all her feelings into that book, and she described how she hated herself and how she deserved to be punished. She was convinced that she was deserving a punishment. And that was absolutely, like, I was just reading randomly this book and I was like, wow. I said the other night that I deserve a health problem, which I'm dealing with for already quite some time. And I said it like out loud, my body said it, you know. And I was surprised I said something like that out loud, because I don't say it very often, just when I'm very emotional. And I said it, and I was thinking about it. Okay, maybe I might be having some hatred towards myself. Maybe I feel so guilty for something which I've done or not done or something, that I deserve to be punished. And that's why I'm scared of dealing with certain things in my life, like going to see a doctor, going to see some friends who betrayed me, and I am feeling so guilty that I did something wrong that I don't want to confront with them, because I want to not be punished for something which I actually didn't even do. So what I wanted to say to you, that maybe you have this feeling too, that you feel guilty. And because you don't have a very good relationship with yourself, underneath all these beautiful meditations and beautiful work which I've done over the years, I went to the core of that. I realized that I have to do all the time one little thing through the day. And it is to remind to me all the time, whenever I feel like doing something what my old me, who hated myself and who deserved the punishment in form of disease, illness, breakups, betrayals and stuff like that, who deserved it and who wasn't worthy of receiving anything beautiful. I received a lot of beautiful things, but deep in the core was still this something very stinky which needed to be resolved, because, you know, it needs to be cleared out.
And this feeling like I deserve to be punished comes from a very unconstructive questions that a lot of us are asking ourselves. Why me? Why did this happen to me? What must I have done wrong in this life or in past lives to deserve to suffer this much? The next step is you say to yourself, I deserve to be punished. Because you will always find an answer. If you say, why am I suffering now? Why me? You will always find a million reasons why exactly you should be now suffering of something. And this is the end result. You're saying it out loud, I deserve to be punished. You said it the other night, and it was really bad to listen to you, these things. And you wouldn't stop. It just kept going one after another of these bad affirmations.
And in those emotions, the desperation just floats on the surface, and you just feel like you are a bad person because you say these things, but the body is saying it because that child within you doesn't know what to do with these things. I was told by somebody that I didn't clean up well, or I didn't have a good grades in school, and therefore I have to be punished. For example, I had some bad grade from English lesson, and my teacher gave me a bad grade, and I came home, and my mother wasn't happy about it, and I saw that I betrayed them. I disappointed them. I did something wrong. And this is also implanted in our heads by school system. Basically the whole society system works on this principle. You don't see this in nature. In a head of a child, I was thinking about myself, and you can think about yourself. When you get a lot of feedback from your environment which is not positive about you, and most of us didn't get a lot of positive feedback from the environment, because we wouldn't be watching these videos, we wouldn't be studying Dr. Joe, and we would be happy people spreading love everywhere. But because we got so many feedbacks from environment that we are such a bad people, then always a mistake or something wrong done deserves punishment. It basically seeks for punishment, and we are then scared and living in fear. Where is it going to come from?
And you were also somebody that was really punishing yourself constantly behind the scenes, but you were somebody that was really loving and caring for your dog and people around you, your family. You're always fully there, you're doing it with your heart, you're always helping people if they need it. But subconsciously, you were really harming yourself.
Autoimmunity is like self-punishment, self-hating, and saying to the system, you deserve to be punished.
Because attacking yourself, attacking your own system. Yeah, that's what it is.
Because you're a bad person, then it's actually absolutely resolved issue. You don't have to be sick anymore because you don't need that.
So how can we change this?
We can change it by being aware, by really truly being an adult and saying to our inner child 20, 30, hundreds of times a day that we are actually absolutely fine, and even though we did a mistake, we are not deserving punishment for it. We are just learning, and we can be loving to ourselves this way. And it's actually the easiest thing you can do for yourself, and you can fix yourself, your health, your life, basically. I started to practice this, and it's changing everything. It's just so life-changing. You don't even have to do meditations for 6 hours a day. You can just be aware when you are stepping into that pattern which is convinced that you have to be punished for something it's not normal, and your little children's brain is just convinced that, I'm bad, I have to be punished, this is how it works in this planet. And now you know that you are an adult who is going to take care of your child, your inner child.
Be loving to yourself.
And that adult is, as your mother always repeated, brush your teeth, after every meal or every sweet meal or whatever you had in your life. And your mother had to be that parent who always had to support you and remind to you what you're supposed to do to be that person who she wanted you to be. And now you know that you don't deserve to be punished by anything, any dramas in your life. And you deserve to be a person who is deserving to live a loving life. And this way, you can just remind to yourself and change your life.
And what are some of the new affirmations that you're telling yourself now?
I am just saying, I don't deserve to be punished. I remind to me all the time, I don't deserve punishment because this is not for me. This drama is not for me. I deserve to be loved. And this is what I'm deciding for.
And you're worthy of all kinds of things. Yeah. You're repeating this worthiness in many different situations in your life. I wanted to also share about a testimonial that we just listened to from Dr. Joe Dispenza's community. And she was saying that she saw that there will be a new retreat nearby. She wanted to go there, but then she was overthinking the airfare. She thought it's too expensive and maybe she shouldn't go. And then her husband asked her, how much would you pay for your children to go there? And she was like, I would sell the whole house. I would do it twice if necessary. There would be no question. They would just make it happen. And then he was saying, so why are you thinking about yourself so much? And that's very powerful, that we can recognize that we are worthy and we can treat ourselves like we would also treat somebody else that we care really deeply about.
So in summary, if you are experiencing some messages from your body in form of illness or disease, or if you can't find the love of your life or great relationship, or if you are struggling financially, you might be just thinking that you deserve to be punished this way. So change that, and you change it by being a great parent to yourself.
If you would also like to do something really loving and kind to your body, we created these beautiful shirts that say thank you in the front and I love you in the back. And these are the most powerful affirmations that exist.
And you know the rice experiment. There were 3 jars of rice, and there was on one you wrote I love you, on other one you wrote I hate you, and the other one, the middle one, you left neutral. The one where it was written I love you stayed beautiful and didn't rot and didn't have mold, and the other ones were much worse.
They were rotting.
Yeah.
And that's just to show how important and how powerful our words are. So this way you don't have to remind yourself, you just wear this energy on your body and people around you will see it and will also benefit from this positive energy. So check out the link in the description below. And if you would like to share some more time with us, we also recommend you this video here next.